Some people say that business and friendship don't mix. Others, on the other hand, maintain that businesses are built on friendship. Whichever path you choose, remember there is a constant. And that constant is setting boundaries. In this video, we are going to explore how to maintain those boundaries in moments of anger, confusion, and fear. Because at the end of the day, anger, confusion, and fear are always my top 3 techniques for dealing with any problem. Disease, filth, and squalor. These 3 words describe Kib's apartment easily, and it's exactly where I was headed. After being prescribed antibiotics for acute tonsillitis, being around Kib was a death trap, and as the showrunner for our live performance in 8 days, I couldn't afford to get sick. So why am I here? Why am I risking everything? I needed my SD card back. All I had was a 32GB card, and that wasn't going to be enough to film with. Speaking of needing things, I was also headed to Parker's. And last but not least, I needed to make a stop at James's apartment. Because he just got a golden retriever puppy, and that was going to be the only highlight of my entire day. Hey! You invited me over to see the dog.
Oh, Steve!
How do you feel? We work together every day. The dog was good. I liked what I saw. There were no complaints from me. However, there were complaints I wanted to bring up with Parker. Oh my god, why are you always so close to your...
I'm about to leave right now. Do you need something?
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I have to go right now. I'm super late.
You remember when I told you you should make it so I can see how many things are sold on the website? Well, it's very clear how many are sold now, which is great. I think it's very great that we're transparent with each other.
That's how numbers work.
And I noticed that there has been, an increase in sales, like from the last time that I was paid by you.
Right?
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have to give you that money stuff.
That's right, StevensSuptic.com still exists, and there are still a couple pieces of merch on it, one being a GIMP mug, the other being a Kill Me poster. Since this merch site isn't going to exist much longer, we figured we'd do a going out of business sale for it. Yet there was no point in doing a sale if I wasn't going to get paid at all. And now back to fear. Fear being Kib's apartment. Can I...
Looking for something?
Oh, why are you there immediately? Okay,
You looking for the SD card?
Yeah, I'm looking for the SD card then. Being bedridden has made Kib a bit of a homebody recently, and socially I could tell he needed something more, which also meant that getting an SD card wasn't going to be a simple asking for my SD card back situation.
Riddle me, bitch.
What?
The card you seek is beneath the pea tree.
What Kib didn't realize is that making me do a riddle to get my own SD card back would lead to me never letting him borrow anything ever again.
You can play with him.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that's what I was going to come over and just play with your dog for a little
Play
bit.
with him.
Okay. What?
Just don't come in here.
Okay, I mean, I wanted to talk shop with you a little bit about, production and, future...
We'll do that in a minute, but just wait.
I miss the old James, the one that existed before we started leaving him out of band practice. The James that didn't sneak around, the James we all knew and loved. I don't know what he's doing beyond that room, but I can't imagine it's any fun to watch.
I can give you $5 to $10 bills, unmarked.
5 to 10 what do you mean unmarked?
They don't quite have a number on them. It's like...
So essentially what you're saying is that you'd be giving me unmarked bills that are either useless or would be get me
No,
arrested.
they don't have a number on them, meaning you can add whatever number you want on them.
You can have whatever, just in pen? Just in marker?
You can have
I can write whatever I want. I can
$10,000 on it.
I could draw a fucking Chinese dragon.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're called checks.
Is this how you pay?
This is how I pay people. I like to draw little guys.
Have you ever
big
actually
eyeballs.
successfully purchased anything? Put these on. Well, you don't have to just keep...
Do I feel better? Riddle me, bitch.
Oh my-
The key to the P lies between the fern tree. No T.
What's the riddle in that? Oh, you want me to walk in?
You gotta find out.
You're blowing my cover. I almost would have rather caught him masturbating.
Riddle me, bitch. The peas you seek are beneath the trees of No, here we go.
Part of me just wanted to cut the losses, buy a new SD card off of Amazon and go home, but another part of me was like, hey, what if we solve this riddle, dude? What I'm asking is, not for checks, not for money that I can just write little dragons on it.
Totally.
I'm asking for money in my funny pocket.
Yep. Let's get you paid.
No, let's do it, yeah, absolutely.
Right. This thing is just dollar bills.
The fuck are those? You're still playing that thing?
No.
Why?
I'm not.
I know what you're
Don't come into
goddamn
my
doing.
room. Get out of my bedroom.
Okay,
You've asked to come in.
can I please come in?
Sure.
Okay. What I was saying was, I know what you're trying to do, and I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let you ruin our special night because you want to have the spotlight for, again. Using what little money I have left, I've hired 3 mercenaries to keep guard during the live show, just in case James tries anything with his recorder. I was getting nowhere fast with Kib's riddles. It didn't make sense. He kept saying knees, bees, trees, and he just kept rhyming and adding to the riddle, and I'm pretty sure there's a major rule that says you can't add to a riddle when somebody's already solving it, or in general. But Kib doesn't play by the rules, and that's because God didn't play by the rules when he created Kib without any chromosomes.
You just trees, think peas, think me's, think bees.
You're actually afraid of bees, so don't think about bees.
Oh, what's this? Oh. What? The card you seek is beneath the pea tree. That was the original riddle, and this is where it ended up, just in his pocket.
Checkbook!
No checks. No checks.
No checks.
Just 2
PayPal's
seconds.
fine.
PayPal, yeah. PayPal's fine.
checks? Cool.
PayPal's fine. PayPal what?
PayPal checks out.
Okay, I thought you had me there. Okay, yeah,
Gotcha.
let's log on to your PayPal together.
I don't feel comfortable. You don't look away. I gotta put in my passwords. Look away. Look. You can't. Don't.
Okay. Well, how many letters and numbers are there?
It's speed based. All right, I'm in. I am super drunk right now.
I have to hand it to Parker. He used confusion against me, and I left his house with no money and with less knowledge than I came in with. Finny! Oh, don't get distracted by my dog.
Listen.
You're croaking me.
It's
You're
my
choking.
dog. He'll always be mine.
Yeah, that's fine. It was
Should I
just
be holding it
just a
since
joke.
I'm cameraman?
Kib's a little bit like the Babadook, in the sense that he comes at night out of a children's book, and I was definitely getting some creepy vibes towards the end of the riddle. There was no way I was gonna get sick, so I figured I would just leave as soon as possible. Stop putting your hands up like that.
Because we have gloves, so
Yeah,
there needs to be a purpose for them. It's like, they're
well, the
down.
purpose clearly isn't holding them up in that fucking air.
They're clean, so they need to be seen. Oh, do this. Do this.
All right, this is all I needed, and this is all I'm ever gonna need. Fear, the strongest motivator. Kib is unintentionally the master of fear. Anger, on the other hand, anger leads to hate. At least that's what I learned in the Lord of the Rings.
You know, you've done a lot for me, but you have no idea what I've been through and what I've done. And what
Name
I've seen.
one thing you've been through.
Foster care.
And what was that like?
Shitty.
What I'm saying is I just don't like get involved in our concert, in our live show.
Alright, I won't.
Okay, cool.
But my thing is that, like, do you understand
Do you
where
have to
I'm
have a
coming?
thing? No, I don't at all.
You don't understand where I'm coming from? Just being kind of bad that I feel left out, you know?
Yeah, but it's just you can't be in everything.
You can't be in everything.
Yes, I can.
Alright, I'm sorry. But
There shouldn't be a
are,
but.
are you... I'm not sorry.
And there you go. You've just witnessed my 3 business management techniques: anger, confusion, and fear. Getting into business with your friends is potentially a thankless job. By the end of this, if you're still interested in getting into business with your friends, all I need to ask you is, did you watch the video?